Hello, guys. Welcome back to SWS Boxing. Delighted to be joined with Nathan Kirk. He is a boxing trainer. He's got four professional boxers at the minute: Joe Underwood Hughes, Spencer Binks, Marcus Creed, and George Rogers. Yeah, pleasure getting you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me, mate.
Good stuff. And yeah, so we'll talk about Joe Underwood Hughes first. Yeah, he's got a big fight next Saturday against Junior Speech, is it? Is that how you say? Oh, Albon Junior, sorry.
Albano, yeah.
Albano Junior. Sorry, that's his Insta name.
Yeah.
I just said.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Albano.
talk about that fight, of course. Yeah, 10 rounds. Is it a final eliminator for the English or just an eliminator?
So it's supposed to be eliminated for the English on Steve Goodwin's show. I think the previous English champion vacated the title to challenge for, I think it was British.
Yeah, because it was
Um,
Louis Slavetsa.
yeah, and I think essentially a lot of it falls into the palms of Steve Goodwin anyway, the promoter. Like good, he's a good lad, good promoter. Joe's in a sort of like a transitional stage in his career. Obviously, he's coming towards his strongest man strength time. He's coming up to sort of late 20s, and he's been in the game a little bit now. And he's had some injuries. He had the Sky Sports boxer tournament that he was on.
Charlton.
Yeah, I feel like he was robbed against Charlton. I don't think watching it on TV where you can't see their feet, it doesn't give it the same justice. And also the was it Laura Wood that was doing the commentary. It was very biased, and I think that's partly down to the fact that Charlton was a household name ish. Like people knew him, and he was
He
the
was the
favourite.
favourite.
He was the favourite, yeah. So everyone, the commentary was really biased, and it is what it is. Adam Smith, was very what's the word I'm looking for? He was very sympathetic to Joe. Um,
He was
you
more
know,
neutral, wasn't he?
Joe was boxing off the back foot because Charlton's come forward with all his shots, but a lot
Aggressive.
of it, yeah, a lot of it landed on the glove, and Joe's were clean. But you saw Riley. You can't see it on the footage, but Riley's legs went twice in the fight, and But anyway, by the by, but that sort of put him back a little bit, and then because of like he fought on a what's the word fight? What was that one that came out in lockdown? It
What fight
had
are you talking about?
it had McCrory in it, didn't it? It was in Sheffield. It had McCrory boxing fight. What's the streaming service that was
Fight Zone?
Fight Zone? That's it. He fought on Fight Zone in the lockdown. So he's been pushing on. He was supposed to fight for a Commonwealth Eliminator in Dubai. That fell through. So
When was that meant to
he's sort of
be?
it's a few months ago now, yeah. So he's constantly up against it, and he's willing to take risks. He's willing to get in the away corner, home corner,
Mm.
but he's just been a subject of. At the end of the day, he's not managed by Matchroom or Queensbury, and because of that, it's hard to get those big fights. So you got to earn it like Lee Wood has. So Joe is fighting on the 24th, 23rd in London at York Hall,
Mm.
top of the bill, in what I would say is a 50-50 fight. So yeah, if he gets that, then puts him right back in the mix. His stock goes up, and yeah, I think he'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen that Albano, however you say his name. I've seen him fight a few times because, of course, I go to a few shows at York Hall, and he's a good skilled fighter, to be fair. And I think this is a very interesting fight, and I think the styles will gel quite well. And I think yeah, it's a good card. Of course, yeah, Joe's got a good fight. And then I think there's a few Southern area title fights on there as well. So it should be a decent show.
Yeah, that's it. Just because it's not televised, I think a lot of people only see the ones on TV and stuff, don't they? That are your call, but it's a good card to be on, and I think it's a good fight for both fighters. Whoever wins, great, your stock goes up. Whoever doesn't win, as long as you're putting a good performance, you'd like to think that you're still in the mix. But Joe wants to make a statement. Joe wants to. He's been working on a few things with me and with Scott. Scott's his main trainer. Scott Kalo, the promoter.
Mm.
And yeah, he's strong, he's fit, he's fast, he's sharp. He's been sparring up and down the country, so he's really put a lot into it, and he's looking to benefit from that. So that'll be good.
Because he sparred James Beach, was it yesterday I saw?
Yeah, down in Birmingham. Yeah, travelled down to Birmingham to spar there, but he's been having some really good rounds with some other lads that are fighting for titles out of East Side Gym and stuff. So, and Black Country Box as well. To be fair, he's been down there a lot.
Yeah. So do you believe you're a
So
step?
yeah, I think it's a good fight. It's a good fight.
Do you guys believe you'll be a step too far for his
Say
opponent?
that one again.
Can you hear me? Oh, it's breaking up a bit.
Yeah, it broke up. I heard you. Um, you got me again, mate.
I don't know what's happening with my internet. Hang on. Can you hear me now? Hello? Can you hear
Yeah,
me?
I can hear you.
Did you hear my question, or do you want me to repeat it?
Yeah. I can hear your question. I can hear you. I just don't think you could hear me.
No, I can.
Can you
I
hear
can
me
hear
now?
you. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it's a step too far. I just think that Joe's come on. I think Joe's come on, and I think Joe knows that he's got to make the statement, and he's hungry for it. He's annoyed because Joe's last fight, he came in, making the weight was a bit difficult that camp. He got caught cold, really. He touched gloves with the lad in his last fight, stepped back, and normally someone comes in with a feint of a jab, and the geezer just throw a looping overhand and caught him clocked, and you know dropped him clean. And I think so. Joe's really peed off at himself about that. That he got caught cold, so he's had fire in his belly ever since, and he's just got to put in that performance now. So, and he's trained with fire in his belly, and I think you'll see the best of him.
Yeah, and of course, going into the Lions Den, of course, we've seen some dodgy decisions, go to the hometown. Do you guys believe, ideally a stoppage?
I think Joe's got the power in both hands to stop anyone at that weight. It's just it's like look at the drawings on the day. If you don't throw, you don't know. But I think Joe's got the ability to stop him. But we're prepared for both. If you're in the away corner, in my opinion, you're it's almost like being a round down, isn't it? There's always that bias, unofficially, in my opinion. But I don't get told off for that. But there you go. But I think when you fight the champion, you've got to not just beat the champion, you've got to smash the champion. When you're fighting someone in their home turf, you can't just beat them, you've got to smash them. So that's what we're going to do.
So yeah, now should we just talk about Marcus going on to 2-0 or 3-0, was it? 2-0.
So Marcus Creed, he's got the name for boxing, hasn't he? He's 2-0. He's just he's had two strong, durable lads, two journeymen that he's fought, and the first journeyman that he fought, he cut his eye above his eyelid. In the end of the third, he broke his nose and cut his cheek. I was surprised the ref didn't wave it off because he was cut above the eye and it was trickling into the eye from the third round onwards. But again, it doesn't really make any difference. He got the win. But he smashed that gentleman up at the weight. They just get hurt, and then he fought MJ Hall recently, and MJ's a survivor. MJ can, make prospects look bad sometimes, and Creedy wasn't at his best at all. I'd say he was at 70% max. He had a really hard personal life going into that fight, and he lumped and bumped MJ Hall up. His eye was swollen shut. His nose was bleeding. And he was red raw. But Creedy's, he's got an amateur experience. He won the novices as a youth in the amateurs, and he's sort of still learning the pro ranks on the job. So I think 3 or 4 more fights like that, and we'll see a nice little 50-50 domestic maybe. So that'll be good.
Oh, so you feel you'll get him in 50-50 fights
He's next
later
out.
on?
Yeah. I think he's a bit older now. He's a 28, 29-year old. He came away from amateur boxing, had a bit of time off, and then got back into boxing. So um, he's not got long to make some noise, if you will. So I think he's got another fight in June coming up, and then he'll have another fight in September, October. So we're looking to get him busy in the home corner, build him up, and then once he's ready, put him in those 50-50s and 6 rounders. You sink or swim then, don't you?
Mm. And Spencer?
Just lastly on Marcus, I forgot to say he's like 6'4" and boxing at 11 stone too. So he's a mammoth at the size. So if he can keep that up, I think that'll do him some justice. And he's a lovely lad outside of the ring, and he's got some power in the hands. Spencer, I've inherited him. He had his first pro fight with his amateur club, Benny's, and they did a top job with him in the amateurs. He won the championships in the amateurs. He's got a really good crowd friendly style. He's quite busy. He can leave himself a bit open at times to get in there. So that's what fans like to see, not what the coach wants to see. But he's really snappy. And as an amateur, he was boxing at 11 stone. Well, they put him in at 11 stone for his pro debut, and he came in at 10 stone 6, came in light. So when I inherited him, I've matched him at 10 stone 6, and he's coming light again at 10 stone 3, and had a really good little tear up. And now I think we're going to put him in at 10 stone 2 for the next fight, and he'll be big framed and strong and fast at that weight. So I think he's another one we're going to build up in the home corner. And I think he's ready. He's already ready and itching for the next fight. He's only fought last week. He's got a good attitude. He's young. He's fresh, and he listens. He listens to instructions, and I think we'll see progress from both of those lads within the next year.
Yeah. So how active do you feel Spencer will be this year?
I think it'll be the same as Creedy. They both can sell tickets. They will both take a challenge in the away corner if it comes up. I think Spencer's fighting in July as well, June, sorry, and then again end of September, early October. So looking to get 2 more fights out of him this year, and then next year again 3, maybe 4.
Mm-hmm. And of course you've got the Road Warrior, George Rogers. He's yeah, he keeps racking in these fights, and he's always in a good fight.
Yeah, that's the thing with George. He's a boxing fan with a license, a bit like what's his name, Kane
Kane
Baker.
Baker.
Yeah. That was Kane Baker's line, wasn't it? Boxing fan with a license, but George Rogers knows more about boxing than I do. He tells me names and I've never even heard of him. So he's a little encyclopedia for boxing. He loves it. He fought on the GMB show not long ago against
Oh, I
one of
watched that one. Yeah.
against one of the White Rhinos 12-0 kids. Yeah, George is up for it. He's sustained an injury to his eye, so he's out of action for a little bit. But he's always chomping at the bit. Loves it. Loves getting. It don't matter where it is, when it is, who it's against. He's up for it. So he's about 36, 37 fights in now, and he's looking to get to 50 before the end of the year. He said.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that's good. He had a good fight with I think it was Zayn Ali when he got a draw in October.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's like road warrior, innit? We both felt he won the fight, but they gave it a draw to save the home corner lad, and that's fine. George won't get too disappointed by that. It's the game, and that's how you play it. He loves the experience. He loves keeping fit. He goes for a run on the same day as his fight. He's mental. He'll wake up and go for a 3 or 4 mile run. I say you don't need to. He's mad for it. He's training down at Unity mostly, to be honest. I took him on in the lockdown, built him up, got him pro, and then his office that was in Derby moved to Leicester. So he goes to Unity a little bit with Courtney Challenger and what's his name, Leon Woodstock Jr. and them. So he trains down there with those guys. I see him a couple of times a month, and yeah, he's mad for it. It can take a punch as well. I mean, he fought Hennessy Jr. and Hennessy Jr. Came in massive for the weight, and I saw some of those shots, and I had the towel ready to throw in. And George was saying, "I'm fine, I'll give it back. Don't worry, I'm in this." He got caught with a flash knockdown in Plymouth in a
Billy
sixth
Fabry.
round, but he'd already been pulled in by the border control for his eye. So he was just told by the ref, like, just don't. That's it. Don't worry about it. Get your eye sorted. He's had his eye sorted, and like I say, in that last shot, in that last fight, he's just said he was ahead. He was up on the scorecard, and he got caught in the eye. And I don't know if he just not let it heal enough before or what, but he had an eye injury off the back of that, and the referee pulled it. But yeah, by all accounts, he's one of the most unorthodox fighters there is, and that's what makes it difficult because he throws funny punches from funny angles and throws about 1,000 of them.
Mm. Yeah. How did you get into coaching?
Well, I was a kickboxer, and then I went into Muay Thai. Then I boxed professionally myself, and then off the back of boxing, I used to help out at local clubs, just giving back a little bit and helping out and building a network. And then off the back of that, when I retired, I wanted to open my own gym, so I've done that. Hashtag Frontier Boxing, and yeah, I went through the course, and I wanted to be a part of the sport still, and make sure that people don't make the same mistakes I made. I was burning out, overtraining, working full time, which a lot of pros do. And yeah, it just went on from there. Really, I've got a really good relationship with Scott Kalo, the manager, and I take his lads on, and he manages them. And, they're doing pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, thank you for your time, Nathan, and good luck with Joe next weekend, and well done with Spencer and Marcus.
Well, keep up the good work, mate. You're a busy little boy, so you get more interviews than I don't know. So yeah, hope it grows and hope people follow you. And I'll see you at the next show.
Hopefully, mate. And thank you for your time as always. Bye, mate.
Cheers, bud. Bye.